Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Town of Pownell regular select board meeting, regular scheduled meeting. December 8th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Board member roll call.
Angie Rowling.
Jamie Percy.
Brian Harris.
Mike Gardner.
Bob out there.
Approval of the agenda, public comment, approval of minutes of December 1st, special select board meeting. The warrants, Ellen is here with a delinquent tax collector, tax sale announcement. Correspondence, ARPA discussion that was carried over from last week. Holiday and staff appreciation celebration, which was carried over from last week. Old business, public comment, and adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections, additions, deletions? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to open it for public comment if there is any.
No hands are up.
No hands are up. Okay, approval of minutes. Minutes of December 1st, 2022, special select board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections, additions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Warrants, accounts payable of 12/3/22, $286,740.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable, New Town Hall, 12/8/22, $7,132.78.
So moved. Bob saying no.
Second.
Second.
Joey.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
I think you gotta go around the room now, Mike.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Bob, I didn't realize you were in. I guess you guys told me that, but I was, oh no. All right, sorry about Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Mike, aye. Payroll, 12/9/22, $18,363.91.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor, Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike abstain. Accounts payable, 12/9/22, $62,317.60.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. Perfect. Ellen, you want to come up and you're up?
Already?
You're up already? We're gonna fly through this tonight, I
We've been
guarantee
moving
you.
through these meetings.
We are moving through.
You guys are amazing. So what I'm here for one, is the tax sale is scheduled January 3rd, 10 a.m. And would like to have a select board person present for that, at least one of you, to represent the town. And number two, I'm asking the town to be supportive as the majority of the items that are going for tax sale are mobile homes unlanded. There is no other way to,
Mobile homes on land.
unlanded,
Oh,
not on land.
Okay.
How's that?
No, I wanted to be, I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure that was clear.
unlanded.
Okay.
So I understand that we don't want to become owners of mobile homes. But I also have someone that had told me that she works for Brock. And Hannah was kind enough to help make up some flyers, and I put them in the bills and mailed them this month, that they can get a hold of this person, and if they're eligible for the VHAP, there's still about 25% out there to help with delinquent taxes, delinquent sewer, delinquent water bills, if they're in the fire district, whatever. So other bills. So in their bills that they were just mailed are these flyers. And if they didn't, for some reason, get a flyer and would like one, they can contact me here at the office and I can get them the information. So if they sign up for VHAP and they end up with a application number, I cannot tax sale them.
Okay.
until VHAP decides if they're eligible, everything stops. Same with if somebody went to tax sale already and they're in their year's period redemption. If they sign up for VHAP now, it stops the redemption period until VHAP decides if they're going to pay it or deny them. So they will pay the amount, whatever our attorney gives to me, they will pay that amount if they are eligible, and they will get their, they will come out of tax sales. So I think there's like, I forgot to count them actually. I'm sorry. I think there's 8 total. 1 is a house on land. Everything else, the other 7 are unlanded mobile homes.
Okay.
Okay.
So the only question that I have is if we have any, and I don't know, maybe we don't have any from the past year. I don't remember any unlanded mobile homes. Maybe there is. Should we send a flyer to the owners that have the year,
I did.
But there you go.
I did because
Okay.
they are also eligible
Well,
for
that's
the
what I was
2022 year.
Right.
So I made sure I put a flyer
Okay.
in there.
Okay. I just didn't want somebody coming back on and saying, well, I didn't
Nope.
get that in this one.
I
My
put-
neighbor got it, but I didn't.
I put a
Perfect.
flyer
Perfect.
in it. You have to live in that home
Right.
in order for VHAP to,
Right.
to cover you.
How long does that usually take for them to decide?
Not very long.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah, and if they go through the Brock, it seems to go pretty fast.
I do.
Once she gets all the information, gets everything in, and then they need to get me the VHAP number, because VHAP doesn't always put it on, because I have online relationship with VHAP, but they don't, by the time they get it posted, they've already asked me for the amount to be paid, so then I just find out. So if people do get signed up, they need to get me the number. I actually had someone give me their number the other day.
Nice.
That came in they actually came in and made a payment and then said, here's my VHAP number, application number. So what I'm hoping is with sending all that out, that some of these mobile homes that are going for sale, they will have time to get it rolling. And even if they go to sale, they'll get paid off. They'll have plenty of time.
Right.
Because it only takes 6 weeks sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Depends on how many applications we have.
Let's hope for the best,
It's a
right?
lot faster now. But what I'm hoping is in the meantime that the town supports this, because I've tried everything for other things. And this is,
Right.
it's not, you have to put some up for sale.
Right, and
And it just happened this way, that this is how the bunch worked, because, and it's not including their 2022 taxes. This is from the last list that our attorney had received. So he's been busy too. So
All right.
that's what I'm looking for.
So I'll be available on the 3rd.
What day is that?
I think it's a Tuesday, isn't it?
I think
It's a
it is.
Tuesday.
Usually it's a Tuesday when you.
Then I can probably be here if I have to be.
I just don't.
Is that Tuesday?
I just wanted to make sure that we had sent. I don't.
Absolutely, I did.
Yeah. I don't want
Absolutely,
anybody
I
coming
did.
back and saying, well, they got it, I didn't.
I sent
That's all.
everyone, all they have to do is read the flyer and then go for the help, and then they will tell them how much they'll cover and what they'll do for them if they're eligible. Did I write them a specific letter? No, I put.
No. That's not all I'm at. That's all I'm.
I'm just letting you know, I did.
Yep, perfect.
I made sure that person that I know of for sure had an unlanded mobile home that did go for tax sale in June, did receive one of those flyers, yes.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay, so that's all the information I have. And again, if anybody, or you know of anybody that needs that VHAP information, you can send them our way, because I have some more flyers on my desk.
Anybody have any questions for Ellen or comments? Excellent. Thank you, Ellen, for.
Thank you, Ellen.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Never been out of here this quick before, have you?
No.
Correspondence.
We don't have correspondence per se, but Julie asked me to read this. The candidates for upcoming March election 2023. They are constable for 1 2-year position, delinquent tax collector, 1 3-year position, moderator, 1 1-year position, select board, 2 1-year positions, another select board, 1 3-year positions, And then a trustee of public monies, we have 2 one-year positions open for that. So if you're interested in running, you'll need to turn in 30 signatures in a candidate consent form by 5 PM on Monday, January 30th, 2023 to Julie, the town clerk.
And those signatures, just so everyone knows, they can start obtaining those signatures right now.
Right now, and they must be Pownell registered voters.
Correct.
Yes, also for a correspondence, I did get an email asking about enforcement. I think Mike, you and I kind of exchanged some emails on it as well. And to put you on the spot, because I won't be able to do it off the top of my head.
Oh, that's fine.
Could you kind of recap what we talked about the other day on enforcement? It's the new ordinance in relation to the new ordinance and in relation to litter along 7.
Right, which it actually is gonna recap all of our ordinances, so to speak, not just the litter ordinance. Tara and Hannah have been doing some research on, it's still a work in progress. We're doing some research on how, when we write a violation, a ticket, whatever you want to call it, whether it's for the trash ordinance or for the cover ordinance, or the cover ordinance is kind of a different story because that's law enforcement writes those anyway. But if Fred were to go in and write a health order, or we write a trash ordinance violation, or if I write a zoning violation, we're working on how to follow through with that so that we can enforce those. There's ways to do it. We've researched some of it out. Like I said, Tara and Hannah have been working on that. We're not that far away from being able to write these violations and tickets and whatever you want to call it. And then there's going to be some, as I responded in the email, there's going to be some teeth in our bite, so to speak. So I'm glad you brought that up, Bob. I kind of forgot that actually. And I know we had emailed back and forth about that. In the past, I think Pownell has had that reputation of no matter what happens, there's nothing that anybody can do to us. Be alert, be aware, that's about to change, pretty soon. And I know we've had some complaints in a couple of the emails. And I know we've had some complaints about certain things. Please understand that they have not gone unaddressed. A couple of them, I talked to the people personally. Tara and I talked about, going to a couple of property owners because they're rental properties. And we talked about finding out the property owner for those rental properties and saying, hey, look at your tenants have got a lot of garbage around there. Ultimately, I think the responsibility falls onto that property owner, not the tenant.
Correct.
So we talked about this yesterday, Tara and I on the phone. I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So as the response to my email, don't think that we're not doing anything. As a board, as the zoning administrator, as the health officer, as the animal control officer, maybe it appears that we're not doing anything. We are. It's just taking a little bit of time. We're dealing with we got to get the answers from the state government, what we need. And unfortunately, we're trying to do a much better job, I think, on the town government. I know we are, and we're doing a better job. Town government level wise, we're doing a great job. We're moving stuff forward. State, they're not so quick. They're not so quick getting back to us, unfortunately. Kind of what we want to do it tomorrow and they're waiting for, well, maybe next week type of thing. So.
More like next month.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that we're working on right now as a board. I'm glad we'll bring this up as correspondence. There's a lot of things that we're working on as a board, that are going to come out, some of the executive sessions that we've had. all of that stuff is definitely gonna be coming out here. Pay attention, stay tuned, folks, because it's a month away, maybe. There's a lot of things that we're gonna be able to bring out that we've been working on really diligently and really hard.
Bless you.
Hey,
That cover it, Bob? I think that covers it pretty good.
I think it does. And then when we get to public comment, we could get the same question again.
We could, that's fine, I'll answer them, or anybody for that matter, we're all on the same page here, so.
That was our goal.
Any more correspondence?
No, but just to elaborate on that, the ordinance flyers and the mobile home park flyers are all going to be printed tomorrow and be going out within the next week. So that education piece will be done and then
Awesome.
we can move forward with other steps.
And that's exactly what I mean, all this stuff we've been working on is just take some time to get it done, you have a lot of stuff going on an everyday basis and you're getting all your work done. It's just, you gotta prioritize and we are, and we're moving forward with a lot of things right now. A lot of things, we really and truly are, a lot of positive things. Any more comments on correspondence? ARPA discussion continued. So I had asked everyone to come back this week with, 3 priorities that you'd like to see. And if you would be so kind to write these priorities down as we bring them up. And then I'm not so sure that we should make a decision on what those priorities are tonight. I'd like to just get them out there. And I'd like to then we can schedule, even if we schedule a special meeting just for ARPA to bring this stuff up and move it forward with what we think are the 3 most important things, because somebody may have something, I'm sure somebody's gonna have something that none of us have even thought of. I'm hoping for that, to be honest with you. So, I'd like to go around the room and start with our priorities and go from there. Ange?
My number 1 was development of our land, a right of way, trails, recreation use, etc. My second one is possibilities of our own officer, meaning a police officer or a sheriff. And the third one is huge. I don't know if it's even possible, but looking at buying the racetrack and checking for a super fund for cleanup.
Nice. That's something that I didn't think of.
I
for
actually
sure.
had 7, but I'll stop at 3.
No, we can move on afterwards. That's fine. If we were short, and honestly, there's a huge number, obviously, of things that, everybody has different ideas.
I just wanted to say really quick that the last time I asked for ARPA money for town hall, I asked for 110,000. And then when I was looking at what was remaining, I thought maybe I should give myself a little wiggle room with that. But even if I jump to 150 with that, we still have a remainder of $359,248
In ARPA.
in ARPA funds. Just so we know what number we're working
You
with.
said 359 what?
248. And that's
359
with a huge wiggle room for the town hall, because like I said before, I do not want to ask taxpayers to.
Yeah, no, we're in good shape with the ARPA money and I think so I'm gonna go right to you.
Okay, my first one is law enforcement. It would be either a constable or a police officer, and that would help us with our ordinance enforcement as well. The other 2 are really general, and I'm not sure how we would address them, but the second one is food insecurity, and the third one is housing, affordability, and I don't know what the appropriate word is, but just good housing, good affordable housing options.
Jamie?
Same as Angie, the first one that she had, as far as access to our land right away and all that. And also the town hall, as far as finishing up the paving and other items that we need to get buttoned up. And I can't remember exactly, I talked to Tom a while back and he had a couple ideas for the transfer station. When he gets back from his hunting trip, I'm gonna touch base with him again. But there was a couple of things he was bouncing. So.
Bob?
Well, if the numbers work out, and I think preliminarily they do, but it really depends. My number 1 is the law enforcement. If we can bring that into Pownell, that would be, to my view, a big plus on a lot of things, including the enforcement. My second, my second and third, I think are both about the same level to me. It's the VORAC grant and any overages, but that may not, any overages there would probably leave us with more money left over, even if we did that. And that's the recreation access. The other one was to focus on capital expenditures, something that we would have purchased anyway. And if we use this money for it, then it becomes a benefit to our taxpayers. And I mean, I really want to focus on, and it doesn't have to be a capital expenditure. I was just thinking of that, thinking about Joel and trucks and plows and stuff, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be anything that we were going to spend money on anyway, would then help us with our general fund, which would be a benefit. And it wouldn't expand what we currently do. That's, I think for me, that's going to be one focus, is that it doesn't expand. And once the money is expired, it doesn't leave us with a liability going forward.
Right.
So Jamie, when you kind of spurred my mind on this, and Bob just even reiterated it. I believe we should involve Joel, Darcy, and Tom
I was gonna bring that up, but yeah.
this conversation because, and that's my fault. I should have had them involved in this from the beginning about if they need a capital expenditure, as Bob brought up, and you brought it up, when you brought up Tom. So I want to publicly apologize to Joel, Darcy, and Tom that I did not include them in this little exercise or whatever you want to call it. They should have definitely been involved. So if you could reach out to them tomorrow.
I'll just ask for their 3.
Exactly. If they have, a capital expenditure or whatever. So, I think that's a great idea, Bob. And Jamie, I apologize to all 3 of them. So, which brings me to Brian. Oh, what? Hannah, did you come up with any? Sorry, I'm going right around the room. Okay, that's fine. Brian?
All right, I similar ideas to everybody else. The law enforcement, code enforcement position. I think that would be a very valuable asset to the town, especially moving forward. And a couple of selfish ideas on my part regarding Route 346 ball field. I'd like to see the field get regraded and pitched for drainage and leveled out, especially if we're going to start doing 3-season sports down there. If we leveled it out, we'd be able to do the ice skating rink a lot easier. And I'd like to try to see if we could somehow put a 3-season bathroom attached to the pump house down there, like the original plan was.
Yeah, we did discuss that a long time ago.
Okay.
And then kind of piggybacking off that, like Angie said about recreation, I had specific ideas regarding trying to do capital improvements down at the Strobridge property, at the property down by the bridge, that lower lawn area, and then also repaving the dirt road that goes down under the bridge for fire access. I'd like to see that get paved because that gets pretty washed out and can get pretty muddy. So those are just some of the ideas I had.
Nice. So which brings it to me, which kind of piggybacks on one of yours. And these aren't in any order, just how I wrote them down. Emergency services. I don't know if our rescue squad or our fire departments have any capital expenditures.
They need, the rescue squad has asked for a generator.
Yeah.
They're one of the only people or agencies that I've heard from requesting ARPA.
So, our rescue squads and fire departments, capital expenditures, piggybacking on the Bob there a little bit. Law enforcement is a big thing for me. Exactly the same reasons, code enforcement, so on and so forth. And then the other thing that I had thought about, and we've talked about this as a board, was, and I don't know the exact terminology I want to use, but for some of these places that are being complained about now for trash, whether or not we can set up some sort of a revolving fund.
I had that
for-
down.
For some, I know we talked about this, you and I talked about this, for a revolving trash fund. And I think it would be a lot of research on this part, but if we were to identify a property that has a trash problem, and we go in and we clean it up and it costs X number of dollars, then what I'd like to do so that we recover the money, so it's a revolving thing, is, we come up with some sort of, and it's all hypothetical and it's an idea that I had, I don't know how to make it work. But I would like to have, where we recover the money if it costs us $2,000 to go in and clean up trash, because we have to hire somebody to go in and do it.
Right.
All right? The homeowner or whoever would be responsible to, we give them an opportunity to clean up themselves, right? But then we go in, and then if they don't pay us, then we attach it somehow
Yep.
to their property, lien. I don't know how to do it.
Right.
I just think,
So there is actually a revolving loan fund currently that I've been trying to trace back to 1992, and I think that's what Jim was asking about last week. It's been there since 92. I think I talked to my aunt who was on the select board at the time. She said it was used one time by one resident. If we can figure out how to work that money, and how to manage it, that is still available too for something like that.
and I think that's something we should research out
Yeah.
in our spare time.
I mean, if they have,
I've really been trying to.
I know you have. I know, I'm just picking on you. I know how hard you guys are working right now. I know, I'm in here. I know how hard you guys are working right now.
can't remember if they try to set a small policy for that. or,
I asked her, but I was
guideline.
trying to figure out, was it select board voted? Did the select board at the time vote for those funds, or was it like a ballot article?
Yes.
Because if it was a ballot article, then we would have to
Bring it back to,
another,
that's right.
to redo it. So I just still, I have to go back to 1992 select board minutes, and I haven't had time yet, so.
That's okay. So, there's some really good ideas. There's obviously some redundancy in some of them, which makes it kind of easy to prioritize a couple of the things in there. I'd like to schedule a special meeting where we just talk about ARPA funding. I don't know what everybody's schedule is with the holidays. Maybe we could maybe we could come in before the next regular meeting at 5 o'clock and talk about ARPA funding, on the Thursday, 2 Thursdays from now, so we don't take up a whole nother day.
The 22nd.
Yeah, right before Christmas, and then we could, work on it. I don't know what your feelings are, right now I'm thinking out loud. That's all.
Oh. Every
If
time.
it
we
means
get together-
anything, if it means anything, I'm good with that schedule. That would be the Thursday before Christmas.
Right.
I'm good with that.
I just, I'd like to schedule that meeting at 5 o'clock. We start our regular meetings at 6 anyways, gives us an hour. Come in and we talk about ARPA funding and where we want to go with it, and then we decide how to do it.
If we need to, you do another one, but I mean, generally, we've been able to.
I think we can hash it out in one meeting and get started.
Get things going.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll schedule that. We'll bring these ideas back. And by then we'll have, Darcy, Tom and Joel's, input, by 2 weeks from now.
I think
Excellent.
some people have also already started on getting some costs around one of the ideas that a few of us had mentioned. I think at least 4 of us mentioned.
Yeah, no,
I think we'll have some costs by then too.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's the big question.
And then maybe we'll have an answer on the revolving loan that we have by then. If not, it's not a big deal, but and we can throw the,
Because then that could be used for that.
exactly. And then maybe we'll have a cost on a generator for the rescue squad. Maybe we can ask them for that.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can't remember if it's already in state statute or not. I don't know if it's question for our lawyer or not, or, we have to come up with a separate ordinance on if we do like a cleanup as far as just, legally be able to put a lien on.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a lawyer question.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, that's way above our pay grade. Yeah, you know, just something to think about, you know, like I said, it's an idea that I threw out there and. Anybody have anything else on the ARPA stuff? I think we got a great start right here and I think I think we'll come up with a great plan on, you know, moving forward. Great. Holiday and staff appreciation celebration. What you again?
So I'm gonna do the gift card thing first. So there's about 22 people if I invite, like Priscilla, Fred, our health officer, zoning, to include you guys and Leonard. So there's 22 people and I'm trying to figure out gift card amounts. So if we do 25 each, it's $550. We do 35 each, it's $770. And if we do 50 each, it's $1,100. And you guys have 4,826 left in your expense line.
And do you have some sort of an estimated cost on?
Food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a few different things. I did plain old cozy pizza. I did, that's the cheapest, obviously, it's like $220. I did some barbecue, which is like $492, and Chinese is like, yeah, $408. So, it's not cheap to feed 25 people. Even if I set like, okay, they can each spend $20 if we were to order, because Jamie had mentioned how they did that with the firehouse. They each got to order something and they said, okay, you get $20 to order something. That's still $500. So it's not a cheap thing to feed that many people, but, that's why I didn't want to make the decision myself.
Do we have any sense of what what our staff's preference is?
I've heard a lot of barbecue mostly, and then some Chinese.
That, I think,
Because the barbecue option is brisket, it's brisket, ribs and chicken, mac and cheese, potato salad and beans. I mean, it's like really yummy. I think it is.
it sounds like you got it down to two choices, in my opinion, from
Would you
people that
order
you,
it and have it delivered here?
that you,
And that
That's what I would
$492 covers the delivery fee. The barbecue one.
send a thing out and say, please respond, and, you know, the more votes for whether either one.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's when you go. I think that's the fairest way to do it.
Set the limit on the amount.
I don't have a problem with any of it.
My personal opinion is, this, is a $50 gift card to each one of our employees, out there, each one of the 20 people or whatever there is. That's a pretty small token of appreciation.
Yep.
And if it's $500 to feed everybody for barbecue, and if that's the general consensus of what everybody wants, you're still talking, you're talking $1,500 for all of it. And if we can't spend $1,500 on 22 people, then something's wrong. We better look for 22 new people.
That's right.
And I don't want to do that. So that's my opinion.
I agree with that. 'Cause I have no problem with any of it.
Nope. You know, so,
I'll even make dessert if you want. I'll buy dessert.
I'd like to entertain a motion for Tara to, continue with this, holiday celebration party for our 20 some odd employees. And, she's got it down pat. I don't think we need to set a limit on it. She's not going crazy with it.
Yeah.
I'll second that and I'll say that we should do the 50 the high.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad. I like that.
Okay.
Any more discussion on that? Any questions?
Paid for it.
Nope.
All those in favor? Angie?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Mike? Aye. thank you for the research and the work on it, Tara, and the idea in general to start with. Old business.
I only have one thing to talk about for old business. A while back, we talked about the entryway and what it looks like and how people enter the building and possibly locking the doors or making our offices private. There was a lot of talk about that. I've looked at a lot of different things and kind of the way that it is for me and for Hannah and for other people that I've talked to is okay. We don't feel unsafe. We don't feel like locking the door and keeping people out is necessary. I think our community has spent a lot of money on the building. A lot of people want to see it and they're excited to come and see it. And I feel like it's a more friendly and inviting atmosphere to have the doors open. And with that said, there has been a lot of confusion when people come in. Where do I go? Who's where and all of that. So Hannah actually looked up some pricing on getting some door signs or even a sign just for next to the door. So we got two different options. There's an online option that's like $3 something, but to go with Lucy to have the matching because she did our other signage. If she can do a directory sign out front with arrows and then one for each door with our name and our title for $516. So I think that would be the last piece of items that are needed in here.
In the main office.
In the main office building part of it, yeah.
Is that including, a directory portion to go into the, schoolhouse part of the building? And but the second part of that is, do we need something to direct people to that portion of the building?
That's a good question. It does not include that, I don't think, right?
Probably only during voting.
Okay. But, right, only during voting, and it would probably
Or
only bring the
public
price
meeting.
up slightly because the sign would.
I think we should
Right.
have a sign go all the way. If we're gonna have signs, do it all
Well,
the way.
yeah, if we need one, then we go all the way and do it. That was just a question.
Yeah, we can just have it added.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge expense, I'm sure.
Space at the bottom of the sign, so I think she could add.
And then I guess I would ask, what do we want to call that? We don't want to just keep calling it the schoolhouse, right?
Town meeting room.
Meeting room,
Yeah.
town meeting room.
That's what it was intended
meeting room.
for.
And I know that we don't have anything on the bathroom doors, but I think we should get something on the bathroom
Bathroom
doors.
sign.
If the doors are shut, you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I saw
At the
two people
schoolhouse?
open the janitor's closet looking for the bathroom.
I know, exactly. I mean, you can get those little,
Yes.
Just simple restful.
restrooms.
If you're talking about what you want to call the schoolhouse, the meeting room, I actually applied for grants calling that a community meeting space, just so you know, like we had talked about, if that's informative for you at all.
Community space?
A community meeting space. Yeah.
Community meeting space.
Meeting room.
So that's for meetings, but also like we had talked a while ago when we first was just all conceptual, we were talking about allowing community groups to use it.
I'm
And
gonna
making it more just, not just about the select board meeting there or the boards and commissions, but about it being more than that.
I'm gonna task you two with figuring out what we're gonna call it.
Okay.
How's that? You got a couple ideas out there and I'm gonna task you two with doing that. And go with there. Any comments or questions on that?
Yeah, and just so to elaborate a little more on the door thing, I know there have been a couple people that have said like, you were supposed to have a counter here and you were supposed to have like a buzzer and some other stuff, but it really is quite expensive to install that stuff. And a counter is I don't know where we put I don't really know how that would even work out there. And then who sits at the counter?
I'm inclined,
Well, it changed a little bit. So.
Yeah,
my opinion is I'm inclined if our staff feels safe and comfortable with how it's open and that's what they want to continue with, then I'm inclined to let them go.
I've actually come into the building with one person in here and I'm like, why isn't the door locked?
and
You know what I'm saying?
if I leave Hannah, I usually lock it, like, if one of us is here alone, we usually lock, but a lot of times Julie might be alone. So for safety, I figure we can get the panic buttons, because locking the door, people are gonna come in and then they get upset. They don't usually get upset outside.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
unless we have a known threat in the area,
right, if that was the case. then
that's a
we-
different situation, but otherwise, if you guys are all comfortable, after hours, I would prefer if one person or even two of you are in here.
Yeah.
I'd just soon have that front door locked after hours.
Yeah.
And meaning people, if they need to get in here, can call or set up a time appropriate or whatever. Peace of mind, there's a lot of wackos out there nowadays.
But I did speak to Dave at Alarms Unlimited and he's gonna get us a couple of panic buttons.
Okay, good. So we need a motion on, the signage for,
I thought you made the motion.
what's that?
Did you make the motion? I thought you made the motion.
Not on the signage.
Should we add a historic preservation sign for their door or some type of placard that they can put their own
Maybe
slide
wait
in?
until we finalize some things with them and then
Okay.
they can decide what they want it to say
Right.
or what they
Right.
want it to look
All right.
like
We have a meeting with them in a couple of weeks.
next
I'm
week.
just thinking it's attached to our building, so if somebody walks
Yep.
around and saw the door.
Right, definitely.
But
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I think we need a motion on the signage.
make a motion to have Tara and Hannah move forward with the signage of the rest of the office complex.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Are you making the motion to go with Lucy so it matches everything else or with the,
Yes, sorry.
no, just want to be clear.
I assume that's.
Well, I don't want to assume anything. I want to know.
Following her recommendation.
And that's, no, that's totally fine, but now it's definitely out there and there's no question, right?
That's right.
So the motion on the floor is to proceed with, Lucy, taking care of the signage for, the rest of the town building as Tara and Hannah see necessary. And I have a second.
Yes, second.
All those in favor, Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian. Aye. Mike, aye. And that takes care of old business.
Unless you have any questions. No.
Yep, no. I'd like to open up to public comment, please.
I would just like to say thank you to everybody who helped with the tree lighting and who came. It was very nice of everybody and it was a huge success. And hopefully, next year will be even bigger. Thank you, everybody.
That's right. I was pleasantly surprised. I was gonna say the same thing. Pleasantly surprised by the number of people that were here. Number of new faces, significant number of kids out there that really enjoyed their time. For those of you who were here, thank you and pass the word. I'd like to see 5 times the number of people that were here, but it really was enlightening to see what was going on. Within the community. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone who put that together.
And also, I just, if I could comment on that, my apologies. I had every intention of participating and unfortunately work requirements kept me from going. I'm personally embarrassed that I couldn't be there. But from the pictures, it looked like it was a great event. It looked like a really nice event. We do have a hand up.
Hannah, Jim?
Hi, guys. Jim Costas, Mason Hill Road North. Hey, first of all, I just want to thank you very much, Mike, for mentioning that you are working on things. I mean, town has been asking a lot of questions of if anything's been happening, and I referenced in my email to you a couple of locations, but there are a lot of them out there that I just don't know about. Number 2, the ARPA funds. I really appreciate Angie coming out with the biggest one of being the racetrack. It would be nice, but I know that is not feasible. But at the same time, Tara, I'm just still waiting to find out what the status is down there. We're coming into the next winter, and I know the state won't reply to me anymore because they say that it's probably got to go through you guys. But unfortunately, we're not getting anything from that end. So.
Share your frustration, Jim.
We all do.
I do. I share your frustration and I apologize that I don't have a better answer.
Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, you guys are doing the best you can with a lot of things. I appreciate the capital fund researching with all the departments. That was one of the things I asked, if the road was all set, if there are things we could do there. Law enforcement, wow, I'd love to see us get away from the sheriffs and have a law enforcement guy in town that knows patrolling around all the different areas. And then in my email conversation with the zoning administrator, unfortunately, it went through the select board email, and Bob, I include you on it. I just wanted to make sure I was enlightened about permits being transferred from property to property. I mean, I just didn't know that if there was anything that is documented to say how that works. I'm concerned, and others are concerned of something that could pop up in the property next door that you don't know about. I know that my main question or some people have emailed me and said, do they review the grandfathered permit that might be passed on to someone else to see if that same conditions are happening? And if they're not, if something could be rescinded. I mean, I'm just thinking about what happens when it transfers, if the following rules or follow-up is ever done. And I just want to make sure that we have in our bylaws and our zoning and all the rules so that everyone knows what's happening and things are recorded so that nothing is hidden. I know our filing of items and past permits and when the zoning came about and certain permits that were approved that may have not been under the same bylaws that we have now, but they're going to continue on. And I'm just wondering if maybe we need to just sit down and discuss and review all of those things just to make sure that people that invest in their property, they can know that they're not going to have a permit passed on to the person that buys it, and then a shed goes up and no one is checking to see if that shed was originally in the permit. So again, it's only for the idea of having a discussion. So I appreciate you guys. Happy holidays, and we'll talk to you next year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna touch base on the permit process just a little bit. I'm not gonna debate it at all, but I will touch on it a little bit, Jim, to try to explain. So, because I thought about this since our email exchange on Tuesday. So if someone were to, under, let's say, bylaws that were adopted in 2010, and they were granted a variance for an outbuilding or an addition on their house or a business, pretty much anything, if they were granted that in 2010, and then the bylaws change in 2022. It's impossible to go back and rescind, though. I'm not going to be the guy that goes in there and says, tear your house down, Jamie, or your addition, because now you need 25 feet for a variance and you only had 15 in 2010 or whatever the year was. Same thing with a business. Now I do totally agree that we'll stay with the same years. In 2010, if you could only have 7 junk cars on your business, you have a used car dealership license, and in 2010, you were granted an opportunity, or in your application, you were granted 7 junk cars on your lot and 15 saleable cars, or whatever the stipulations were. If there's 9, then that's a violation.
Correct.
Then we go after it. Okay. It's unfortunately, I don't think our, and in the email exchange, like I said to you, Jim, Tara and Hannah are really diligent on working on this stuff. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff on their plates, and especially now we're getting ready for budget season, and there's a lot of stuff that we're working on. Like I said, hopefully within the next month. Most of the stuff that we've been in executive session and if not all of it, but most of it's going to come out, and you'll appreciate the fact that we haven't been sitting on our laurels. Believe me, we've been working on a lot of different things. that'll come out here shortly. And so the permit process, yes, we do follow through on complaints. We are still in the process of looking up the one business opportunity, that you had referenced in the email, the car dealership. So we definitely are researching this stuff out. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff is packed away downstairs and it's not the easiest stuff to find, or it's not really, they haven't had the time. I'm not gonna sit here and.
That's something Tim can check with the state,
Hours.
because that is given through the state.
But that's right. There's a state permit for a car dealership and there's guidelines for that. But there also is the zoning permit that was given out for that, for a car dealership or a business or whatever. And that falls back on us. But the state does supersede. You're absolutely correct.
Right, and that location is not in the proper location. That is not what it's permitted for. The location that is permitted for is down the road where the sign is. That I know 100%.
I don't know that for sure. I think there's, what's that?
There's a sales.
Permit for his used cars.
But
Where
there's
the
a sales
sign is.
permit for that property that's in question. There is a sales permit for there.
Sales, yeah.
Retail.
It says sales.
Not car
It says sales.
See, part of the problem is
Definitely.
some of these
Yeah.
permits are so old
And
and
vague.
some of them are very vague.
Yes.
Some of them were given by default. I don't know what year, I'm not mentioning names, but they were given by default and then never even recorded. So Hannah and I have come across tons of gaps in permits that should not be there. And we are working really hard to correct them, but
So just be patient. We're working on
I don't agree. I don't agree with the permit from the zoning administrator's standpoint. I don't agree with the permit that just says retail sales for any location.
But if that's what the state
But if
does.
if it says retail sales, I'm not gonna be the select board member that's gonna take that to court because we're wasting the taxpayers' money because we will lose.
Yeah, it's a lot, it's a big,
That's a big permit, okay? We're gonna lose. Now, if they came to me now as the zoning administrator and came in for retail sales, what are you selling?
right.
What are you selling? Well, we're gonna sell retail. What are you selling?
What type?
The permit that's gonna come in front of the DRB, while I'm sitting here, is gonna be a whole lot different than the one came to the DRB in the past. I can tell you that for free. So,
Just, thank you very much, Mike. I really appreciate it. I don't want to get in debate. First of all, I think you guys just made it a point that we need to have better discussion on this and going forward and putting it into our bylaws and putting it into our zoning and stuff. Because your examples of just what you said of if the bylaws change, no, I don't agree that you go back to them and say, because the bylaws, certain things, yes, do get followed through or continued on and stuff like that. But I mean, just to have a permit that goes forward without having someone go back from the town to say, yes, this is what you can do. And yes, this is, and just kind of review the process without just a piece of paper going from one person to another person and that person thinking they can do anything. But again, I don't want to go any more on this. We just need to have better discussion on this down the road after the budget season's over next year or anything like that. So thank you very much.
thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Hey,
Any more public comment here? I will entertain the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, Angie,
Aye.
Jamie,
aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Mike, aye. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, and if we don't see you, have a Merry Christmas. We will be here 2 weeks from tonight.